Former winner Adrian Buchan there with the GoPro breakdown. And we're going to see some vision now of Gabriel Medina, who has to be one of the favourites, a former winner himself too, for fantasy surfing. What is fantasy surfing? It's the ultimate way to enhance your championship tour viewing experience, and it's easy to play. It's good fun. Ross Williams, you're really the face of fantasy surfing. How can people get involved?
Spooky. It's so much fun. Well, they can go to the website, they can download the app, and basically you can create a league or your own group of guys, and it's so much fun to basically talk trash. That's what it's all about. You can put a lunch on it or whatever you're going to do, but before every event, when you get your team set, it puts so much emphasis on your guys. You really feel like you're riding each wave with them.
You're picking from 3 different tiers: Tier A, Tier B, Tier C, and they put together those tiers by where people are placed on the Championship Tour ratings. You've got the top 8 in Tier A, and then you've got the next 16 on the ratings in Tier B, and Tier C, well, that's the sad one. The guys at the back end of the ratings, but the good news for people at the moment is there is some amazing talent, some Teahupo'o specialists at the back end at the moment.
So you can see my picks here, pretty straightforward for Tier A. I think a lot of guys are going to go for John, and Gabriel. You may have some guys that want to have the lower percentage picks sharing. Everyone's going to have, the bulk of people out there, the public, are going to have John, and Gabriel. So you have a great chance to jump ahead with a sneaky pick like Italo or Wilco. Kind of crazy to say that Wilco is a sneaky pick, being that he's #1 in the world, but it's no secret that guys like John, and Gabriel are beasts here at Teahupo'o. And Tier B, I kind of feel like my sneaky pick is Felipe. Obviously, we all love Felipe at places like Lowers in Brazil, but he loves quality waves too. He spends a lot of time in Indo, Ronnie, and I think he's overlooked a bit when the waves are hollow and this size today. It's not crazy and scary where someone like maybe Wiggly is a better choice. So that's kind of my sneaky pick, and then I think we have the same choices in Tier C.
And the conditions have a lot to do with it, and the forecast we know isn't looking huge for Tahiti this year. For me, my picks are very similar. I think the way that the tiers are planned out for this event, there's some really obvious choices. So if you're at the top end of your group and you're looking really good, there's probably some smart decisions. If you're at the bottom end, you want to take some risks. And the only different pick that I had was in Tier B. I went with Josh Kerr as opposed to Felipe. So I just see Josh as a bit of a specialist here. Strider Wasilewski, you're out there in the channel watching the guys warm up. Are you seeing any differences? Are you changing up your team at all this morning?
I'll be honest, yeah. I'm watching Wiggly over the shoulder of the cameraman right now getting shacked. I've seen Kaio Ibeli just threading the needle, no hands, which the judges are going to love, deep behind the section. There's been some interesting movement out here. Jack Freestone's on fire. We haven't seen those main players come out. I haven't seen Kelly Slater out here yet, which would be an interesting one. We did see Gabriel Medina just threading, beautiful, and on a wave hunt as usual, catching a lot of waves underneath the hook, really threading the tube, coming all the way through those deep runners, the way he won in 14.
Well, there is also 3 more surfers on our panel who love playing fantasy. Joe Tapel, Potts, Pete Mel, they're all students of the game. They've been watching the warm-up sessions closely, which is kind of advantage we have maybe over the people playing at home. But any changes to your teams, Joe?
That's right, Ronnie. It's so fun to get that insight in the free surfs. Ronnie's been dominating those surf sessions, by the way. And then we have to see Medina out there doing so good. I just noticed how versatile he is. Small forecast, big forecast. He can do it all. Starting with you, Pete, did you have any changes from Ross's picks that we saw on screen?
Well, I was pretty much spot on with him when he did the article on WSL or on WorldSurfLeague.com. But I did change it up. I have Nat in there rather than Sebastian Zietz. Just because I got my boy there, forehand. I think the forecast is good for him. He's got to get through this little bit of a slump that he's in. And then I switched up and went to Wiggly. I think that there was a good talk about that. I think Wiggly's a good pick in that Tier B. And then Tier C, I swapped out Jeremy for Bruno Santos. And just because I feel like, again, I'm kind of sliding towards that forehand being a bit of an advantage when the waves are smaller.
Potts, any changes for you, or are you pretty similar with Pete and Ross's picks?
Yeah, pretty similar. I think the guys to watch for me, Medina, obviously, as you said, Joe, you hit the nail on the head. Big or small, this guy's got game either way. I think he's going to bring some air game to it as well. I like Ace Bucket in that middle tier, and Jeremy Flores, I think, is for me the guy to watch in Tier C. One
of the main points Ross was making, have a sneaky pick. For him, it was Felipe Toledo. I think Ryan Callanan is a nice pick to have. He hasn't had a breakthrough result in his rookie year on tour. He's had multiple strike missions out here. He's staying with Aki down on the point. He got really barreled this morning, and he's against Dusty and Jordy, who haven't won this event in the past or made the final series. So you can see that maybe being an advantage, separating yourself from the pack. And also a guy like Jadson Andre. He could be a great pick. This is his favorite venue on tour, and he's kind of that wild card kind of feel. So we'll see how he goes. Those are taking some big chances. Hope to set up your fantasy teams. But Jadson's looking hot. He's ready to go. Let's see what he did this morning. I'll be back on Dawn Patrol after this.